Welcome to the Player 4 Podcast.
This week's episode is brought to you by us.
Hey, we're great sponsors.
Right?
Do we get to pay ourselves?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
If you pay yourself, then it gets taxed.
So take out your wallet, hand yourself a $20 bill, then go get change for it and give 5 of it to the government.
Before we go off on paying and taxes, maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Hello, I am Tristan, a.k.a. Shagwazir, on the Rooster Teeth website.
God damn it!
I'm going to cut that.
I'm going to cut that. Go ahead, Alex.
I am Alex, a.k.a. Chaos Black 21.
I'm sorry. I'm Joseph, a.k.a. J. Dunlap. So, money, speaking of paying yourself, we've got that thing that we're working on right now that, we were just talking about.
Ooh, skull poople. No, shirts.
Shirts. So,
Shirt poople.
What's the website that we're selling shirts on?
T-Public. That's T-E-E. Public. Not pubic, like I thought. Public.
Why would you even go there?
Did it?
T-Public is the website that Andres told us about last week during the live stream. And we have a shirt that we're putting together. It's the Booze plus Mike equals podcast shirt with the P4 logo on it. And the funny thing about that is if we were to buy our own shirts directly from T-Public, then we are pocketing $3 to $4 of that. So we're essentially paying ourselves.
Essentially, or you could just think of it as we're getting a shirt at a $3 to $4 discount.
Price, yeah.
We will be linking our store and our shirt that we're selling on Twitter Twitter. The account, on our Twitter, which is @Player4Podcast, and on our Facebook, which is /Player4Podcast. We'll be linking the shirt and the little storefront that we'll have on TeePublic.
Yes, and you should buy one for your upper body and one for your lower body.
All right, Stuart.
I'm just trying to get our sales up. I'm sorry.
Player 4 is getting monetized.
Makes great underwear, too.
Underwear.
So, Deadpool you mentioned, Tristan? Did you go see Deadpool?
I saw Deadpool on Monday.
Hey, that's when I watched it.
No way! It was almost like we had a day off or something.
I didn't have a day off.
I did.
I had a date night. We paid someone to keep the kids from dying and killing each other.
That worked.
And making the house catch on fire, which would be bad because it's an apartment complex. One of my students she's a Rooster Teeth fan.
Yay!
So, it was a date night. We went and saw School Poople. Pull Scoople. Pool's kind of dirty. Better get my Pull Scoople.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Third time's the charm.
Okay, just cutting in for a second. Going back to the babysitter. You know what you should have done? You should have, somehow, connected one of our episodes to the TV and just be like, here you go, I got you some material that you could listen to while you're watching the kids. You don't have to listen to it at all, but you should try it out.
Okay.
The kids like it.
Let me list the ways in which that's a bad idea. So, first off, they were already watching something, and if I were to turn off Reading Rainbow...
I knew it!
Tristan, can you guess what Sarah would do if I turned off Reading Rainbow?
She would probably take her shoes off.
That's true.
I don't know, would she go to the corner and tell her problems to the corner?
Okay, she used to do that. She doesn't do that anymore since we moved. But before we moved, when I tried to feed her food she didn't want, she would go over to a corner in the kitchen and just hide. It was really weird.
She stands on the carpet in her room and faces east.
Yeah, she hasn't done that as much.
That she faces the wall and she tells the wall her problems.
No, screams at the closet more like. No, if I were to, in the whole taking off the shoes thing, I think we've talked about before, which is if she's done with a car trip, she just takes off her shoes, and that's the indication that we're about to get an earful. No, if I were to turn off Reading Rainbow, then there would be hell to pay. And the second reason that's a bad idea is I'm not going to subject my children to our kinds of conversations like those about poop, not because it might offend them or upset them,
talking about poop?
But because it's already bad enough with my kids because Uncle Tristan taught them butt.
I did. Okay. I can't deny it.
You have nothing
They were
to
going
say.
to learn butt at some point.
Okay, yes, so we were watching Finding Nemo, and then little Sarah goes, touch the butt.
Which is cute. But then I taught them to just say butt on its own, which apparently is not cute.
Yes, but you taught them butt before she said touch the butt, so it's still your fault.
Okay, fine.
Then I was watching the Who's Line outtakes. Did I tell this story on the podcast, or just to you, Tristan?
Who's Line? No.
So I was watching some Who's Line outtakes, and there's a whole thing. There was an episode where Ryan did not want to sing Hoedown, and the producer kept making them do hoedowns, and he kept ruining them by saying something off color or cussing at the end. So they had to go back and sit down. The producer would come out, and they'd start over. So the final time they did it, I think they did it a third time, and he gets to the end, and he says, F me up the A, as the final line of the song, which they then have to repeat. And my little daughter, standing right there, sings the phrase and says, and she says, I sing in the sound. And I'm like, no, don't sing the song. And Gina's laughing, I'm laughing, and we direct her out the door.
I mean, as long as you don't make a big thing of it, she won't remember it later.
No, she did not remember it, which is great. I don't want her going to Grandma's house and singing F me up the A.
That could cause some problems.
We put a movie on, and she promptly forgot. Yeah, so Deadpool. I kept being told how good of a movie it was, how much I was going to laugh.
Yeah.
I came into the movie not sure what to expect, because usually hype is wrong.
Yeah.
And I got through the first, 20 minutes of it. I was like, this is really funny. It got a little bit slow towards the middle, wouldn't you say, Tristan?
There were some points where I lost track of exactly how they were sticking to the plot.
And then it picked up for the last, 45 minutes, and I was like, yep, yeah, this is a good movie. I like this movie.
I would agree that it was, good in the beginning, had a little bit of a rough middle, but not bad, really. And then it really finished on a high note.
And when you're watching it, you'll kind of understand what we're talking about as far as it gets a little bit slow. There's a reason for it. There's a stylized way of the way they're telling the story in the first half of the movie that's a little bit hard to follow. And it's like you understand what's going on, but then the pacing just dies at one point because they finally get to the end of the sequence that they're trying to do. And then at that point, it moves on to the final confrontation pretty quickly. And then you get to see this huge epic 45 minutes of fight scene, basically?
Yeah, basically. Although I will say that they had some pretty funny jokes during the slower bit in the middle.
Yeah, it was funny. I was just kind of wondering, where is this going?
I don't know. I still think that it had probably one of the only times I would laugh at a fart joke in a movie like that, so I was happy about it.
What about the unicorn?
I could have done without, but it certainly didn't ruin the film.
Well, it's important to remember that Deadpool is omnisexual.
Yeah.
Or is he pansexual?
It's everything. It's what?
Yeah, I think that's omni.
It's omni.
Kind of like one of my friends. He goes through the monster manual for D&D saying doable, 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 even if it's like a magma cube.
Do him, do her, do that, do the other thing. I wouldn't do that thing.
Yeah, like just an octopus. He's like, doable. Then the next page, it's a giant pig monster. Doable. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Gee, I have standards, Joseph. I would not do the pig monster.
Specifically the pig monster, but not the octopus or the cube. Overall, Tristan, what rating would you give Deadpool out of 20 stars?
20?
20? Why is it randomly 20 stars?
Because people, when they give a 10-star rating, are not honest because they're afraid of giving too low or too high of a rating. Like if someone says, how attractive am I out of 10 stars? And you want to say you're not attracted to them, instead you say 7.5. And it's
7.5 is not attracted? If you use 20 stars, so you're just going to double your score by 2.
No, I won't. You don't know me.
So it's a solid 15, according to Joseph's scale.
No. Okay, fine. Let's go with percentage. Let's go with percentage.
I would give it...
Now we're going Rotten Tomatoes style.
Sure, why not?
17, 18, so I'd give it a solid 89.
Okay. And what is your primary criteria for the 89?
I would say that I thought that it was funny and well done. I've read the comics, and I felt like a lot of he's a vulgar person, but I felt like a lot of the swearing was like he swore more than felt natural, which is not criticism, just that it loses its funny after a while. So that's where that counted against it in my book a little bit.
So you're thinking it should have been a little bit more like Family Guy, Star Wars, where it was just cleverly placed profanity.
No. He would be more than that, but just slightly less than where we were.
Okay.
Just slightly less. Just honestly, slightly less. There were just a couple times where it was like, could have been said without the curse and still been funny. I think I had altogether too much respect for Morena Baccarin, so there were a couple scenes in there where I was like, cover the screen. She's trying to cover the screen when Morena Baccarin was up there. Too much respect for her.
During that montage that everyone knew was going to happen.
Yeah, the montage.
This is time for a montage.
But I will say, she is still looking great.
Yeah. What I liked when her character was first on the screen was that white streak of hair. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then to see the way that her appearance progressed over that year of their relationship showed kind of a character shift, I guess, as she was getting accustomed to the relationship and maybe changed her profession. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did, in fact. I agree with that, but I mean that was mostly it. I just it was good. It was a lot of fun. There were times when I did feel I had been pulled out of it, where I went, and because of that, and even if I don't have an exact explanation of what caused it, the fact that it happened is why I'm withholding some points.
I may not be as harsh in my grading, but I do see your points. Those are fair points. Some stuff that brought me out of it was the sidekick. That you could tell that he was the actor that was supposed to be a zinger. Seemed like it was just an ad-lib in a whole stream of keep the camera rolling and let him talk about how ugly Deadpool is, and keep the camera rolling and see how many insults he can come up with as far as the Blade Runner thing, that zinger.
Blade 2, yeah.
Blade 2 with the monochromatic clothing.
Yes.
It brought me out a little bit. The improv humor, it didn't fit. It would fit better in 40-Year-Old Virgin than it would be in Deadpool. If someone was going to improvise, it would need to be Ryan Reynolds, which I'm sure he did because he was one of the producers.
Yeah, but I mean, they needed a character that Wade would be able to talk to, who didn't have to put up with him. It would be somebody he could talk to because it was somebody he never ever had to work with or against. And they also needed a person who would, hold the namesake.
Yes, and he was a good character. I liked his character.
He was a device.
I like his response when they're going to get Morena Baccarin's character from her new job, that part, and he gets sidetracked.
Yes.
That was funny.
That was funny.
When he asks Uhura, the actress, the blind character, asks if she wants to get high with him. That's pretty funny.
That was good. There were a lot of great scenes with that character, and she's in the comics. Mm-hmm. I thought that was great.
There's just little bits with his improv that just brought me out of it because it felt like I was going to see more in the outtakes. It felt like how I know you're gay. It felt
like an outtake, but it was during the film.
Yeah, exactly. So my rating, with that in mind, that there were parts just like you had that brought me out of it, but overall, it wasn't trying to be anything it wasn't, but it also didn't seem like it was really trying to be anything. Does that make sense? It was being a Deadpool movie as maybe Deadpool would have wanted it, because remember the opening credits are basically Deadpool's version of the opening credits, down to the way that they're done. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it.
Yes. I liked the opening of the film. I really did.
I mean, it seems fitting that Ryan Reynolds was a producer because the movie seems like the way that Deadpool himself would want the movie to be. But at some point,
for Deadpool now, huh?
It kind of felt like the movie wasn't about anything really, except for that one goal that he had, and so
which was fine. I mean, how else could you tell a good story with a character that is as all over the charts as he can be?
Yes. So whenever I say a movie is good for what it's trying to be, it's hard to say that with Deadpool, except that it's trying to be a Deadpool movie, and on that basis, I will grade it a little bit higher than yours. Not that my rating's any better, but it's my personal preference. I'm going to give it a 92
Oh, I see how it is. So you're better than me because you got all those 3 other points there. Well,
I give it 3 more points just because it's exactly the way that Deadpool would want the movie to be.
All right.
Except for that one part that was almost a Spaceballs callback. Best part of the movie to me, honestly, there was a lot of great parts, like the baby hand, but the best part was probably the cartoons. The walking heart and the unicorn.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That was so perfect. Like how he's waving at them, but the person that they're dancing around doesn't know what he's doing. That was really funny.
No, I kind of wanted more of stuff like that. Like he did a lot of like talking to himself, like the way you or I might, but there wasn't a lot of back and forth like you expect from Deadpool comics.
I really did want more,
his own narration,
or the video game where there's the 2 voices arguing while he's getting tacos and things. I also was wondering at some point, isn't he schizophrenic? Where's that side of him? Or are they just trying to make him more Hollywood style, Ryan Reynolds style Deadpool?
In the comics, he has 2 or 3 voices.
Yeah, I know. In the video game, there was the one that said that he was more of a first-person shooter kind of guy, and then the more pragmatic voice was the one that likes to play MMORPGs.
Yeah.
Which is me. So overall, I mean, between the 2 of us, we give it a 91. It did smash a lot of records for the year, and it smashed the record this year for opening weekend. I mean, it's February, so I mean, we know that Rogue One will probably shatter that, and Civil War. But still, not a bad opening weekend considering, and their marketing campaign was brilliant.
I did enjoy it. And it only built hype, and they knew it would by letting it slip and then saying it's not going to happen, and then like giving in to the crowd and saying, okay, we'll do it.
So great marketing, letting Ryan Reynolds be Deadpool.
I think it was a good move. There were a lot of good lines where Ryan Reynolds got to reference his other work, and it was fun.
So many Barakapool references, Green Lantern references, and references to Wolverine and or Hugh Jackman. There's a lot to look forward to, is what I'm trying to say to those like Alex who haven't seen it yet. So, Alex, what are you excited for this year?
RTX tickets went on sale.
RTX tickets went on sale! Should I blow out the speakers?
Got an idea. Tristan, let's talk about RWBY.
I love RWBY. But Alex, there was so many emotions.
I heard there was a lot of feels.
There were all the feels. Alex,
there was lots of feels.
I also heard that a hand was cut off.
There was more than just a hand cut off.
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't like Ty. I didn't like RWBY's dad.
Well, I already told you what I thought of Burn.
Yeah, you didn't think that the voice fit, but I felt like the personality was a problem. My friend and I were watching the episode, and the whole time, from like the moment he comes on the screen to the end of the episode, we're like, just let Crow be the dad, because you suck at this. He was trying, but he wasn't succeeding. Bad daddy.
But no, we'll talk about RWBY another time.
Okay.
RWBY needs more time than what we have right now.
Okay, why don't we talk about RWBY next week? Devote an entire episode.
Next week we're going to talk about DC, remember?
I guess. We never finished our Marvel discussion. We just wanted to talk about Deadpool.
Okay. Oh, Poople. Did you love the return of Jen Taylor, or did you love the return of Jen Taylor?
Well, yes, I like the return of Jen Taylor. I don't know, like, is it okay to spoil what her character is?
We don't have to talk about who she is. We don't have to talk about anything about her.
But yes, Jen Taylor is back. You got to hear her at the very beginning of the of Volume 1, and you get to hear her at the very end of Volume 3.
Yeah. It was so strange to me, like, because they had her intro it, and I thought that she would be a character, and then she wasn't. I was like, but Jen Taylor. And then now she finally came back. I was like, yeah, Jen Taylor.
I assumed that she was just a narrator that narrated the beginning.
Yeah, but then she was gone.
But it's pretty cool. Go Jen Taylor.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Jen Taylor. Hashtag Jen Taylor.
Maybe she'll come back to RTX.
I'm always, I think she's a really good voice actress. I've really enjoyed her work.
Well, yeah. Like, when she was there in 2013, I wanted to have her sign the cover of my Halo Master Chief Collection, like, original Xbox game, but I wasn't able to get to her.
So, you guys want to talk more in depth about RWBY next week?
Yeah, I think that we should definitely devote some time to that, since we're supposed to be like, Bruce Chief podcast kind of thing.
We should bring in somebody that we'll have some stuff to say about RWBY, like one of our listeners that's a frequent guest, and see if they want to come on.
Who wants to come on?
I don't know. We'll see.
Tell us. Come and send us a message and tell us that you want to be on to talk
I thought
RWBY.
You were accusing me of keeping secrets.
No.
No, if you want to be on and talk about RWBY, then tell us, and we'll bring you on. Even if it's more than one of you that wants to come on, we will bring people in and talk about RWBY.
He's going to make me host the call.
So that we can break our Skype.
I'll make Tristan host the call like he's doing today.
All the Skype-age.
Maybe we can see if Rick can join us.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Yay, Rick. Rick, you did a good job, and we love you. So
I like Rick.
I like Rick.
I like Rick.
Rick.
He's a good guy.
So
Rick and
RWBY,
Ralph.
School Poople RWBY.
Skull Poople RWBY.
School Poople RWBY is going to be a new fan fiction I'm going to write.
That's somehow going to involve me.
Somehow it's going to involve Alex. Now that he said that,
Alex
it will
is going to have to write it.
in some way involve Alex, and Alex has to write it.
I don't write fanfics.
Okay, I'll write
So
it.
Alex writes fanfics.
Alex
That's
is
gonna be
lazy,
the name of the
so
show.
I'll do it.
The new
It's
segment
okay.
of the show is called Alex Writes Fanfics.
And another fan fiction that Alex wrote.
You could do Alex reads fanfics.
See, that's a thing that people sometimes are looking for in podcasts. Sometimes they want to hear people reading funny stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I watch those videos where people read funny things on the internet. They're funny.
So we should do some of that. If you have an awkward fan fiction you want us to read, if you want Alex to read it, then you should link it to us and tell us whether you want Alex to read it, or Malachi or Tristan or me to read it, or if you want it to be like a table
do
reading.
A dramatic reading.
Yeah, we can do like a
just
table
for
read.
characters.
Yeah, but we'll do the actual characters. Just let us know. We'll read it.
I like this idea.
Yeah. So I think this has been a good episode.
All right.
There we go.
We're gonna have shirts. We're gonna read other people's work and pretend that they worked on it.
By the way, one more thing before we're done. I made a poll on Twitter.
I was really worried about what word was going to come next. Okay.
I made a poll.
So on Twitter, I created a poll in which I asked a question.
Oh.
And the question was, should I tell the hashtag poop story dude story at RTX?
God.
And there was one vote for it needs its own panel. There was one vote for sneak onto the Achievement Hunter stage.
Oh,
Sneak onto the Achievement
you know
Hunter
everyone's
stage
going to vote for that, and you're going to get yourself out of the thing.
and tell the poop story.
There was one vote for tell it at side quests, and 2 votes for tell it on your panel. So that means I'm legally obligated to tell it at our panel. Email us at playerfulpodcast@gmail.com if you want to tell Alex what fanfiction to read and what panel I should tell Poop Story Dude at.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
It's never going to die. It's never going to die. It's going to be like...
He still has another one.
I do
know.
still have another one.
Tell the other one at your panel. So
I'll tell it the next
that I
live
can
stream.
avoid.
Good night,
Are we all
everybody.
done now?
It's been fun. Caboose, you have something to say?
I do. Goodbye.
Good night, everybody. Hashtag poop story.
Hashtag goodbye.
Hashtag goodbye.
Okay, legitimately cutting hashtags.
Hashtag
I'll keep
cut.
the hashtag
Hashtag sad
goodbye.
about it. Hashtag cutting room floor.
Hashtag not
Hashtag
really sad
flying
about
into my
it.
ice cream.
Yeah, I'm not cutting this anyway.
He did laugh about it.
You kept it
Hashtag
going
children.
long enough, you owned it.
Okay.
Hashtag Tristan's the best.